What if I told you that two people with the exact same salary can live in completely different financial realities? One is building wealth, the other is one missed paycheck from disaster. Same income, wildly different outcomes. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. A $50,000 raise doesn't feel like $50,000. Not after taxes. Not after the lifestyle upgrades that sneak in the moment the direct deposit hits. Not when you climb one rung on the ladder and realize the rung above you costs twice as much as you thought. Most people think income is a score. It's not. It's a tool. And most people are using it backwards. Meet Marcus. He's 25. He just landed his first real job out of college, $30,000 a year. And he's about to walk through 6 income levels most people never see the math on. Not the salary numbers, the real numbers. What actually hits your bank account, what the government takes, what lifestyle creep steals. And the one number at every level that determines whether you're building wealth or just building someone else's. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand. And more importantly, what to do about it. Marcus starts at $30,000. Let's do the math. Gross. $30,000. Sounds like a number. But here's where it gets personal. Federal taxes take about 11% at this bracket. Another 7.65% for FICA. State taxes vary. We'll use a national average, call it 4%. Combined, Marcus loses roughly 23% before he sees a dollar. That's $23,100 a year in take-home pay, or about $1,925 a month. Now the real world hits. Median rent for a one-bedroom apartment, roughly $1,300. That leaves $625 for food, transportation, utilities, phone, everything. Say it slowly. $625 for an entire month of life after rent. At this level, Marcus isn't investing. He's not building an emergency fund. He's surviving. One medical bill, one car repair, one unexpected expense, and the math breaks. Here's what surprises people. The median American worker earns about $38,000, which means Marcus at $30,000 isn't at the bottom. He's just below the middle, and he's already underwater. Marcus gets promoted, $50,000. That's a 67% raise. Life-changing, right? Not exactly. At $50,000, the marginal tax rate climbs. The 22% federal bracket starts phasing in on the top portion. Combined tax burden, roughly 27%. Take home, $36,500, or $3,042 a month. That's an extra $1,100 a month compared to $30,000. But here's the catch. Marcus upgraded his apartment. He bought a car, nothing fancy, just reliable. His fixed costs jumped from $1,300 to roughly $2,100. The math, $3,042 minus $2,100. $942 left. He's better than surviving. But he's not building yet. At this level, most people feel like they've made it. And they start spending like it. That's lifestyle creep. And it's the reason 50% of Americans earning over 6 figures still live paycheck to paycheck. Not vibes, actual math. Before we jump to the next level, quick question. What income level are you at right now? And more importantly, what percentage of it actually stays in your pocket? Drop your number in the comments. Most people have never calculated it. Today's the day, 80,000. Marcus is 32 now. He's been in his field for 7 years. This is where things get interesting. The 22% federal bracket is in full swing. Combined tax burden, roughly 30%. Take home, $56,000, or $4,667 a month. Fixed costs have grown. Mortgage now, not rent. A kid, daycare, which at the national average runs about $11,000 a year, his fixed costs, roughly $3,200 a month. That leaves $1,467. For the first time, Marcus has room. Not a lot, but room. If he's intentional, if he puts even $800 a month into a low-cost index fund averaging 7% returns, he'll have about $240,000 in 20 years. That's the difference between level 3 and level 4. But here's the thing that makes this genuinely dangerous. At $80,000, Marcus feels successful. He can afford a nicer car, a vacation, the restaurants. And every dollar that goes to those things is a dollar that doesn't go to the $240,000. That's not a perspective. It's arithmetic. $120,000. Marcus is 38. He's a manager now. But here's where the tax code gets brutal. At this level, Marcus enters the 24% federal bracket. Combined tax burden, roughly 34%. Plus, the FICA wage base cap ends at $168,700. But he's not there yet, so full FICA still applies. Take home, $79,200, or $6,600 a month. Notice something? His gross went up $40,000 from $80,000, but his take-home only went up $23,000. That $40,000 raise is really a $23,000 raise after taxes. Now fixed costs, mortgage on a bigger house, 2 cars, 2 kids in daycare. That's $22,000 a year now. Fixed costs, roughly $5,200 a month. Leftover, $1,400. Let that sink in. Marcus doubled his income from $50,000 to $100,000 to $20,000. And his monthly margin, the money he can actually save or invest, went from $942 to $1,400. A $458 increase on a $70,000 gross raise. This is the level where 6-figure earners realize the math isn't working the way they thought it would. The money is there, but it's disappearing into the upgrades they thought they were supposed to make. $200,000. Marcus is 45. He's a director. 32% federal bracket now. Combined tax burden, roughly 38%. Take home, $124,000, or $10,333 a month. Fixed costs, the bigger house, private school for the kids, the nicer cars, the lifestyle inflation that's been compounding for 2 decades. Roughly $8,200 a month. That leaves $2,133, more than level 4. But here's the brutal comparison. Marcus at $200,000 has a monthly margin of $2,100. A disciplined Marcus at $80,000 investing $800 a month has already built $240,000 in wealth, and his lifestyle costs half as much. The wealth ladder is not fixed. It shifts every time someone decides to stop guessing and start calculating. $500,000. Marcus is 55. He's a VP. Top marginal rate, 35% federal. Combined tax burden, roughly 42%. Take home, $290,000, or $24,167 a month. That number looks enormous, and it is. But here's what the math actually says. Of every dollar Marcus earns above $200,000, the government takes roughly 42 cents. The house in the right zip code, the private college tuition, the expectations that compound alongside the income, his fixed costs run about $18,000 a month. Left over, $6,100. That's real money. Finally. But it took $500,000 in gross income to get here. And here's the punchline. A Marcus who stayed at $80,000, invested consistently, and avoided lifestyle creep His portfolio at 55, assuming the same 7% returns, would be about $850,000. Add in Social Security at 67. He's fine. The Marcus at 500,000 who spent every upgrade along the way. His portfolio is larger, but his fixed costs are 5 times higher. He can't retire. Not yet. Not while the burn rate demands $24,000 a month. Income is not a score. It's a tool. And the tool only works if you use it to build something. So here's the comparison. 2 Marcuses. Same career, same trajectory. One made $80,000 and kept his life simple. No debt, modest home, consistent investing. The other made $500,000 and spent every dollar chasing the next level. The $80,000 Marcus? He retires at 60 with security and options. The $500,000 Marcus? He works until 70, trying to outrun his own lifestyle. The gap between those 2 outcomes isn't income. It's what you do with it. Here's your action step. Calculate your real hourly rate, not your salary divided by 2,080 hours. Your actual take-home pay, after taxes, after your commute time, after the gas and the wardrobe and the lunches you buy because you're too tired to pack one. That number is your real hourly rate. Most people earning $60,000 a year have a real hourly rate under $20 an hour. Once you know that number, every purchase becomes a question. Is this worth 2 hours of my life? 3 hours? 10? That's not a budget. It's a decision filter. And it changes everything. I hope you liked this video. This is just getting started. The full breakdown of every level, with the tax brackets, the fixed cost estimates, and the investing math, is linked below. Please subscribe to get more updates on new videos.